We've all heard the phrase separation of church and state, but where did it come from and what does it mean anyway? Basically, the principle of the separation of church and state is intended to prevent the government from ruling over religion and vice versa, but it doesn't mean that religion and politics aren't intertwined. You might think the phrase comes from the Constitution. After all, the idea is right there in the First Amendment. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion. But it's actually from a letter Thomas Jefferson wrote in 1802 where he described the First Amendment as building a wall of separation between church and state. Multiple Supreme Court cases have since reaffirmed Jefferson's words in rulings concerning Americans' freedom of or from religion. So how'd we get here?
God is not done with America yet.
God bless you all, and may God protect our troops.
God is real.
Well, separation of church and state doesn't mean politicians can't talk about religion, but they haven't always talked about it this much. In Jefferson's time, it wasn't considered a great look for presidential candidates to directly campaign for votes, political parties weren't as defined, and someone's faith wasn't necessarily a deciding factor for voters. By the 1970s, the rise of issues like abortion and secularism had spurred presidential candidates to start discussing their faith more when trying to get elected. In a Boston University article, author and professor Bruce Schulman said the rise of the religious right and its boosting of Republican campaigns changed the presidential election process and made it all but required for candidates to express their religious beliefs. And the current Supreme Court is considered the most pro-religion it's been since the 1950s because of its conservative majority. Several rulings in recent decades in favor of religious organizations have made some start to worry that that wall of separation between church and state could be crumbling. Meanwhile, according to Pew Research Center, the percentage of adults in the U.S. who don't have distinct religious beliefs has been growing since 2007. And in a 2022 survey also by Pew, only 25% of U.S. adults said they think religious beliefs should be supported by government policies.